wonder if the Cubs are feeling positive. The Brewers came in and just absolutely showed the Cubs, yeah, we are the best team in baseball. Freddie Peralta came out. If you give Freddie Peralta, who's a legitimate number one starter, if you're the Brewers and you give your number one starter like 9 runs of early offense, do you know how awesome that is? It happens so rarely. It really does. Because the offense generally, funny enough, the offense, when the ace is going, they lose their edge a little bit. Because they're like, hey, listen, we don't need to score that much. We can just score one or two. We're going to win because our guy's not going to give up any runs. And sometimes when your crap is going, like your number 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 starter, the offense is saying, hey, we got to score 8 just to be in the game. The brain, it's such a fascinating, scary organ. If you're the Brewers and the Cubs right now, you're going into game 2 today, and you're thinking to yourself, I got Imanaga going, and I don't know what to do with him. He has not been the pitcher we thought he had been before the season started, and the Cubs find themselves in a position where they have to win the game tonight, or the Brewers take that commanding 2-0 lead. The Milwaukee Brewers ought to be getting way more attention, Coca. It's hard when you still have the Dodgers and the Yankees in it. I understand. The reason why I want to give the Brewers some attention here is that their payroll is in the bottom third. Their players or people, when you watch the game, you will say to yourself that you don't know any of the players. You may know Christian Yelich, our former player, because I talk about him so much. He is the most important in terms of name and quality and in the clubhouse. He is the leader of this team that has been so successful, but just not gotten the postseason success that they would want over this run. But when you look at the names of the Brewers players in the starting lineup, when you watch the game, which I think you're going to watch because it's the playoffs, you're going to say, I don't know many of these guys. And I remind you that when you've got someone like Matt Arnold running the baseball operations, and if you don't know him, look him up. He is one of the best baseball operations executives in all of baseball. Hard stop. He is Andrew Friedman when Andrew Friedman was with Tampa. He is someone who has complete control over how to get the right people with him, making the right decisions almost every time. When you've got someone who's willing to make an acquisition, do you remember when the Brewers brought in Andrew Vaughn? Do you remember how bad he was with the White Sox? Does anyone remember this? He couldn't get a hit. But what executives do is they look at players. They don't look at players the way fans do. They look at players and project, this is what this player would be like on our team. This is what this player would be like given the right attention, the right coaching, the right analytics, the right confidence, the right situation, the right clubhouse. We would say to ourselves, this is what you would call a change of scenery guy. We don't say that in the front office. We don't say a change of scenery. Fans say that a lot in sports. The expression we use is a change of discipline guy. And I don't mean that means a player wasn't being disciplined or properly disciplined or the player himself is not disciplined. What we meant when we say change of discipline guy is how we operate our team with our coaches, with our front office. Change of discipline as in the discipline of one team versus the next. And you don't get it right every time. The thing about a small payroll team is if you're going to beat Tampa, which now the Brewers are even better than Tampa, but it's got to be over a period of time that's longer. But even though, come on, Coca, it's been 7 out of 8 years that they played in the postseason. Maybe 8 out of 9, Coca, or 6 out of 7. It's some number that is just awesome in terms of their postseason appearances. That is because they are able to identify players. They're able to identify players who fit in a way where the back of the jersey is not as important as the front of the jersey. And for fans, what their argument is that it's the back of the jersey that's more important. And then there's executives and owners who start buying into that because they want you to be happy about loving the back of the jersey. I would say that your love should be front of jersey. Love the Brewers.